See, my name is Joshua Shibata. Thank you very much for joining us here. Texas A&M in the white kits, while the University of Health Science and Pharmacy, the Eutectics, are in the purple, and we have our kickoff. The Aggies with the ball. Well, unfortunately, knock on by the Eutectics, the University of Health Science and Pharmacy. If you don't know what a eutectic is, looked it up for you. It's the scientific process when two solids come to form a liquid. It is the way of the University of Health Science and Pharmacy describing how athletics and their academic programs combine together. So they are the eutectics. Their mascot is also called Mortimer or Morty McPestle, the eutectic. So very interesting name and mascot for UHSP as Texas A&M is marching towards the tri-zone. Texas A&M, as I mentioned before, with the last game, fielding two teams here in the Premier Division. Their gray and white team. Their gray team, unfortunately, earlier suffered a tremendous loss to Indiana. We'll see if their main team here in the white are more successful in this matchup against UHSP. And UHSP trying to get some tackles down, able to cycle the ball back. There's a man open on the blind side. Ooh, good tackle. It is a very scrappy match so far. Texas A&M, they're able to keep playing the ball. The ball just still goes, says the match official. And there's the opening, and we have the opening try scored by Texas A&M. And the conversion is good. So Texas A&M on the board early, scores 7-0 over UHSP. And here we go with the restart. Texas A&M with the kick. And UHSP, almost loses the ball. Penalty against Texas A&M, high tackle. And UHSP, good line there by the Eutectic player. Texas A&M trying their hardest to keep the Eutectics in their territory. But their Eutectics are finding the opening. Unfortunately, he was out there by himself. Oh, and unfortunately, a knock on in the pass. UHSP had some good play there, but unfortunately not able to keep the ball. UHSP out of the city of St. Louis, a private school. Again, as the name implies, they are majoring in health sciences and pharmacy. Well, of course, Texas A&M, as we all know, if you follow college sports, a well-known presence in the sports world as the Aggies from the great state of Texas. And here we go with the scrum. Texas A&M on the march. Will they find the opening here? UHSP, their defense has been very, very strong so far. Will they prevent Texas A&M from scoring again? A lot of gang tackling here. And unfortunately, a penalty against the Aggies for not releasing the ball. UHSP will kick the ball into touch to go for the lineout. Again, in rugby, once you're tackled, if you have the ball, you have to release the ball. You cannot hold on to the ball. You have to release the ball to either let your teammate or the opposing team get a chance to get the ball. If you hold on to the ball in the tackle, that is a penalty. Line out by UHSP, unfortunately, overthrown. So Texas A&M gets it, but they lose the ball. UHSP with the recovery. Will they be able to make their way into Aggie territory? Texas A&M defense showing up pretty strong here. UHSP trying to figure out some way to break through the defense. They're just going more laterally than going forward. And I thought Aggies almost overturned the ball, but UHSP is able to keep it. UHSP might have found the opening here. Will the Ute Tactics be able to get on the scoreboard? No, good tackle from behind, but I believe the tackle might have been high. It was high, and so we have a penalty against the Aggies. UHSP with the quick tap. They're going to keep going. They're going to try to take advantage of the penalty. Texas A&M already looks a little tired here. UHSP trying their hardest to make their way through. That might have been another high tackle, not called by the match official. Ball almost taken away. Good tackle by the Aggies there on the scrum half. Fortunately, though, for UHSP, they're able to pass the ball back. UHSP trying to get past the Aggies defense. This Aggie defense is very, very good. UHSP has not been able to get into Aggie territory at all this entire first half. Aggies are just always one step ahead. Maybe some quick feet by the Ute Tactics. They finally make it into Aggie territory, and then they lose the ball, unfortunately. Penalty against UHSP. Big passage of play. You can see right there, we already have some substitutes coming in. Some tired players. We're entering into our final minute of the first half. If you've never played rugby before, rugby sevens is described as playing at 110% the entire match. So you have a lot of tired bodies real quick. Even though the halves are only 7 minutes each, again, it is one of the most you have to be one of the most well-conditioned players to be a good rugby sevens player. So it's really impressive. And here we go. Texas A&M with the ball, trying to make their way into UHSP territory, and they do. Now it's UHSP's turn to be on the defense. The Aggies trying to make their way back into the try zone. They scored earlier in the match, but that's the only score that we've had so far. Both teams pretty well skilled and even. UHSP trying to stop the Aggies from finding that opening. They're going on the edge. Oh, unfortunately, a errant pass. A little hot to handle, and that is the half. So we're going into the sheds. Halftime score, Texas A&M 7, UHSP 0. We'll be right back with more in our second half action of this matchup, Texas A&M and UHSP. All right, rugby fans, we're heading back into the second half of this matchup. Very low score so far. Texas A&M 7, University of Health Science and Pharmacy, the Eutectics 0. The Eutectics in the purple kit, purple and black kit. Texas A&M in the white. Getting ready for the kickoff of the second half. And here we go. And Texas A&M with the ball, trying to pass it. And it looks like there's a penalty. And it looks like we're going to have a scrum to the Eutectics, University of Health Science and Pharmacy. And Eutectics with the ball. Texas A&M trying to stop them. Texas A&M with the turnover. And we have a knock on by the Eutectics. So scrum to Texas A&M. Texas A&M with the put in the scrum. And again, a penalty against the Eutectics. Looks like we'll have a line out for the Texas A&M. Match has definitely slowed down a bit here in the second half. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like we'll have a scrum here. Texas A&M with the ball. And here we go. Eutectics get the ball. We got to scramble. They're trying to score here in the second half. It's a very close game. All they got to do is score once, and we at least are almost tied. I don't know why the Eutectics kicked the ball out of hand. Penalty, though, against the Eutectics. Quick play by Texas A&M. Ball does not go in the hands. Texas A&M, though, able to recover. Again, wayward pass, but we do have an advantage against the Eutectics. And it looks like we are calling for the advantage. There was a high tackle. And so we got a scrum for Texas A&M. going into the last 2 minutes of the half of the matchup. And again, the score only 7-0. If the Tactics can score here, we can at least get a tie. Matches do end in a tie. 2 points for a tie for each team, 3 points for a win. I believe 1 point for a loss. So again, every point is important. Even a tie is better than a loss, obviously. Again, the Tactics kicking out of hand. Does that work? And it does! Wow! Beautiful try scored by the Tactics. We are almost tied here. Kick to come with about a minute left. Now the game gets exciting. The conversion kick, not necessarily the easiest, but we'll see if number 21 from the Eutectics can make the conversion. We are all squared. And the kick is good. Wow. We are tied up. 30 seconds left unofficially. Of course, I say unofficially on our timer because the official time is the match official's time. So when the match official says the match is over is when the match is over. But right now we have less than 30 seconds. We are all tied up here on pitch 2 between Texas A&M and UHSP. Who will pull off UHSP with the kick? They need to get the ball back. Does the ball go 10? Oh, I believe it may not have. No, it goes out of pitch. So that is unfortunately a coach killer, as we like to call it, a bad mistake by UHSP. Because now Texas A&M with the opportunity to score the last points in the match to win the game. UHSP has to stop Texas A&M from scoring. This would be it. They got one more man on the right side. Will they be able to score? UHSP with the defense. Texas A&M, though, they're getting through. They're not holding down their tackles, and there is the go-ahead try, and that is the game. Try score by Texas A&M in the waning seconds of the match. Wow, very impressive by Texas A&M. Heartbreaker for UHSP. Their defense just not able to hold off Texas A&M at the very end. Conversion kick is well off mark. And that, I believe, is game. And that is the matchup. Texas A&M wins a close game here on pitch 2, 12-7. Got to give UHSP credit. They tied the game, came close to possibly winning it, but unfortunately that kick error at the beginning cost them. So Texas A&M gets the win. We are done with our first session here on pitch number 2.